Clemson offense, Bradley. I think it's the number one offense in the country, led by the number one quarterback in the country. If you hang 40 on Alabama, you got my attention, okay? Game one, though, and in this environment, if Auburn can find a way, stick tight. In other words, if they give the youngsters a chance to believe that they've got a chance, and then the crowd starts to believe that they got a chance, then yes, they can be in it. However, going into the game, if I was an Auburn coach, I'd say, we got to score 35 points. 35 points, because these guys averaged 28 last year. At the end of the season, we're hanging 40 on the likes of Alabama. So you got your work cut out. It's not going to be a field goal game until the fourth quarter if we're close. We need touchdowns. We've got to get in that end zone against this offense. So Clemson comes in as a road favorite for a reason. I mean, everybody knows it's an awesome offense.
This Clemson team, as close as they were last year, what do you like? How do you like their chances going into the end of the year, being in the playoff once again?
You know, I like them a lot. I think that one huge game, Tallahassee to play Florida State, okay? And a couple of trap games. This is one where they have to be careful because they're in a very, very difficult environment, okay? I mean, this crowd can be ferocious. The other one's Louisville. I have great respect for Petrino after he's worked with quarterbacks for a couple of years, and he knows that his team has got to be able to finish. They gave themselves a chance against Clemson. They gave themselves a chance against Florida State. Louisville hasn't finished, but Petrino is dangerous. And Clemson, there will come one game this year when they will disappoint us because that's just the way it is historically. Probably Auburn because of the same thing. Not so much because they ride this roller coaster and sometimes.
Well, of course, last year they struggled against South Carolina, 3-1 team.
No question.
So,
Without Steve Spurrier around anymore, you know. So we'll see.
When you get a feel for this game and talking, I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to coaches yet since you've been in town, but when you get the feeling here, do you feel like this Auburn team feels confident that they can upset Clemson?
I was not the coaches meeting, Jesse was. So I'll guess.
Yeah.
They talk the talk, but they're uneasy about walking the walk. Any coach takes a look at that offense, knows that our defense has got its hands full, but more importantly, we've got to score, and if possible, we've got to control the clock a little bit, okay? Because they can strike so fast, that Clemson offense. I mean, if we can put together a 65-yarder here drive and 70-yarder here, we can just get some first downs, let these kids believe. Certainly the coaches, you know, they've convinced themselves that they got a great chance, but they're going to go out and prove it against just ask those folks in Tuscaloosa. I mean, this bunch can score.
How do you feel about Auburn the rest of the season?
You know, I don't find this a critical game, but I find it an important game because it could set the tone. You know, they had trouble at the quarterback position last year, so they need some stability. They need somebody. They need Sean to settle in, even if he were to lose his first game, but to become the leader that they're looking for and to go forward. The biggest problem for a team like Auburn or anybody is called the SEC West. Once you get into that conference part of that and you play on, there's just no off week in the West. Not since 4 or 5 years ago, the Mississippi schools jumped up. Mississippi State hired Dan Mullen, very good hire. Hugh Freeze came to Mississippi. And both those schools have recruited well and they have played well. So there's nobody that, I hate to say this, but over in the East, if you look down at the bottom, it's a little bit of an easier go for you as a coach. You could look at, well, we got Vandy in here, or South Carolina is still rebuilt. Oh, hey, they got a first-year coach in charge. But you don't get that breather in the SEC West, so it's very tough. It's not critical for them to beat Clemson, but I think it's important that they play well. They come out of the game with a feeling that, hey, we went toe-to-toe with a team that lost the national championship Now we get Arkansas State in here next week. We could take a step. We could win our first game, an impressive fraction, and we go from there. So that's how I look at it.
Are you allowed to make a prediction?
No, not really. I suppose I think it'll be tough for Auburn to win this game, but I don't. I thought that last night I really liked Appalachian State to battle in that game. I really thought people were underrating that team. I don't think Clemson will underrate Auburn. I guess that's my feeling. Now, if the kids come in here and do, then we got a Donnybrook. I think Clemson respects Auburn too much for that, and they bring, until proven otherwise, they're bringing too much firepower in.
Yeah.
And that's how I would look at it.